What if I told you there's a city next to fabulous Las Vegas that looks like a never-finished town? Roads that lead to nowhere, empty lots stretching for blocks, cul-de-sacs without a single house. This is Enterprise, Nevada, and from above, it looks absolutely bizarre. Today, we're diving deep into one of America's strangest suburbs, a place that boomed, crashed, and left behind a maze of ghost streets. We'll explore why it looks the way it does, what happened here, and whether this desert anomaly is finally coming back to life. So buckle up, because we're about to uncover the mystery of Enterprise, Nevada. Let's start with what caught everyone's attention in the first place, that bizarre aerial view. When you pull up Enterprise on Google Maps and zoom out, something immediately feels off. You see this massive grid of streets laid out perfectly, like someone drew them with a ruler. But then you notice the gaps. Huge gaps. Entire blocks where roads exist, but nothing else does. Just desert sand and scrub brush growing through the cracks in the pavement. Compare this to a typical American suburb. Even newer developments have this organic, filled-in look. But Enterprise? It's like looking at a checkerboard where half the pieces are missing. The question is, why? To understand Enterprise's strange appearance, we need to go back to its beginning. Enterprise was officially founded in 1996, during one of the most explosive growth periods in Las Vegas history. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Las Vegas wasn't just growing, it was exploding. The population was doubling every decade. Between 1990 and 2000, the Las Vegas metro area grew rapidly. People were flooding in for jobs in the casinos, construction, and hospitality industries. The city needed housing, and it needed it fast. Enterprise sits southwest of the Las Vegas Strip, perfectly positioned to catch this wave of expansion. It's technically an unincorporated town, meaning it's not its own city, but falls under Clark County jurisdiction. This location was both a blessing and a curse. Close enough to Vegas to be attractive, but far enough out to be affordable. Developers saw opportunity. Cheap desert land, high demand, easy profits. So they did what developers do. They started building. But here's where things get interesting. The developers in Enterprise followed a strategy that made sense on paper, but would later create this eerie landscape. Build the infrastructure first, homes second. Here's how it worked. Step 1. Buy massive parcels of desert land. Step 2. Bring in the bulldozers and graders. Step 3. Lay out entire street networks. Miles and miles of roads, complete with curbs, gutters, streetlights, and even stop signs. Step 4. Divide the land into lots. Step 5. Sell those lots to home builders or individual buyers. The logic was solid. Having infrastructure in place makes lots more valuable and easier to sell. It shows potential buyers this is a real neighborhood, ready to go. And for a while, it worked beautifully. In the early 2000s, homes were going up fast. Families were moving in, schools were opening. Enterprise was becoming a real community. By 2006, Enterprise had around 15,000 residents. New developments were announced seemingly every month. The future looked bright. And then, 2008 happened. The 2008 housing crisis hit Las Vegas harder than almost anywhere else in America. And Enterprise? It was ground zero. Las Vegas had the highest foreclosure rate in the nation during the crisis. Home values dropped by more than 60%. Construction stopped virtually overnight. Here's what happened in Enterprise. Developers had already paved miles of roads and installed utilities for neighborhoods that were supposed to house thousands of families. They'd already spent millions on infrastructure. But suddenly, there were no buyers, no funding, no way to continue. So they just stopped. Construction crews packed up and left. Half-built houses were abandoned. And most devastatingly, entire planned neighborhoods, where only the roads had been completed, were simply left empty. The roads remained like a skeleton of what was supposed to be. Imagine being one of the early homeowners. You bought a house in what was promised to be a thriving neighborhood. Now, you're living on a street where yours is one of only 3 homes, surrounded by empty desert lots and roads that lead nowhere. Some areas of Enterprise became ghost towns, while still being legally inhabited. It was suburban apocalypse. But the 2008 crash isn't the only reason Enterprise looks the way it does. There's another major factor: the airport. Enterprise sits directly under the flight path of Harry Reid International Airport, formerly known as McCarran International Airport. And I mean directly under it. Look at this map. These red lines are the approach and departure paths for one of the busiest airports in the United States. And they cut right through Enterprise. If you've ever been in these areas, you know what I'm talking about. Every few minutes, a massive commercial airplane passes overhead, low enough that you can practically read the airline logo. The noise is constant, day and night. According to noise studies, parts of Enterprise experience noise levels of 65 to 75 decibels during plane approaches. That's comparable to standing next to a busy highway or using a vacuum cleaner, constantly. This creates what urban planners call an airport influence area zones, where residential development is discouraged or heavily restricted. See these sections highlighted here? These are the areas most affected by aircraft noise. Notice something? They correspond almost perfectly with those empty grid areas we saw earlier. Even when the housing market was booming, these specific zones were hard sells. After the crash, impossible. Developers couldn't give lots away in these areas. Who wants to live somewhere where conversation stops every 2 minutes because a Boeing 737 is screaming overhead? This is why you see this strange pattern. Some neighborhoods are relatively filled in, while others remain completely empty. It's not random. It follows the noise map. So what's happening in Enterprise today? The good news is, it's slowly coming back to life. Since around 2015, as the Las Vegas economy recovered, developers have started returning to Enterprise. Those empty lots are gradually being purchased and developed. New homes are going up in areas that sat empty for over a decade. Commercial developments are filling in the gaps. Some ghost streets are becoming real streets. Current residents describe Enterprise as affordable, family-friendly, and surprisingly quiet. Except for those airport areas, of course. The population has grown to over 20,000 and is still climbing. However, if you pull up Google Earth today, you'll still see them. The empty grids, the cul-de-sacs without houses, the roads to nowhere. Some areas will probably never be fully developed. Those noise zones are still problematic. Some lots have been sitting empty for so long that legal and ownership issues make development complicated. And honestly, part of Enterprise's identity now is this strange, unfinished quality. Enterprise, Nevada, a suburb that serves as a perfect time capsule of America's boom and bust housing cycles. A place where ambition met reality, and reality won. From above, it still looks like a glitch in the matrix, a city that someone forgot to finish rendering. But it's also a testament to resilience. People live here, raise families here, build lives here, even among the empty lots and ghost streets. So here's my question for you. Would you live in Enterprise? Would you choose an affordable home in the shadow of the Las Vegas Strip, even if it meant planes overhead and empty lots next door? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's strangest suburbs, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of fascinating places across the US. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.